Your host today, Mike Semler.
We love you.
Hey, if you're a sponsor son of the Semlers, come up front, please.
If you want to admit to it.
Yeah, exactly. You may not want to admit to it. Come stand behind me. I'd like my, our son to come up as well. So come stand behind us. So we talk about the Air Force family a lot, don't we? And for 22 years, where's my wife? No, come here. Hey, Gina, come stand with your sons. Gina, come on. So for 22 years, this woman has given everything that she possibly can give to these young men, to this institution. And I hope you understand that she is the longest serving member of the Air Force Academy Foundation and has done an incredible job in making sure this institution ultimately creates warriors who go out and crush the skulls of our enemies of this nation. So today I had this really elaborate speech that I was going to do, and I'm canning that. I would like the members of our roll call and our honorees to step in front of me if they would, please. Okay. And I'd also like Mrs. Chapman, Mrs. Terry Chapman, and Kevin, John's brother, to step up front here if they would, please.
Terry.
And General, if you would, and Mrs. Clark would join us, I'd be honored if you come up, please, sir. Sir, right here. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know what Thudgate's about, it's standing in front of you right now. The losses in the Vietnam War that the 105 drivers took really are mind-boggling. And I can read all about that, but I want you to understand something. John Chapman embodies the warrior spirit that is produced here at this institution. When these guys run out onto the field today and they wear the bolts, they embody the warrior spirit. Standing next to me is a warrior. This is Lieutenant General Rich Clark, our superintendent. Let me just say this. Let me say this. He embodies the warrior spirit, but the lady standing next to him makes it happen. Okay? And that's the God's honest truth. So if you're wondering what this is in front of you right now, that is the Eleanor B was the airplane my father flew 59 combat missions over Europe until he was shot down, decided he was going to escape for 3 months. I say that to you not to talk about him, but to make you understand that he flew that Thud. And he loved this institution. And in saying that, I'll tell you this. What you're about to hear from my guy, Nate Walker, who General you know, is a Bullard Award recipient. Everything you're going to hear is absolutely 100% true. There's nothing made up here. And I want you to take a look at that flag, that Thudgate flag flying under our stars and bars. And I want you to think about what he's about to say. Nate.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. My name is Bandit, and I'm the proud brother of a Green Beret. First, I acknowledge our DVs, as Mike already said. My commandant from back in the day, now Superintendent, Lieutenant General Rich Clark and his wife, Amy. Welcome, thanks for being here. Alrighty, sorry, I was given a list of possible attendees. I see.
Roll by it. You're good. Roll by it.
Okay, the Director of the Air National Guard, hopefully my future boss, Lieutenant General Mike Lowe.
We don't even know if he's here.
Yep, there's that. Anybody else that I missed with the athletic department, thank you for being here. I truly appreciate it. For making today possible and contributions, I'd like to thank Teresa and Tom Floor, parents of former Fighting Falcon linebacker Jake Floor, now a FAPE, in the FAPE Mafia, down flying T1s at Laughlin. The Brockman and Scarcello families, whose generous donations are responsible for those beautiful Michael Garman Night Stalker statues being presented to our award recipients today. Would like to thank longtime Thudgate family member and U.S. Army combat veteran, founder of nationally recognized Red Leg Brewery, Todd Baldwin, for the beer. And lastly, I would like to recognize the two Gold Star families that I know to be in attendance today. If you are a Gold Star family and I don't recognize you, I apologize. Please find me afterwards and let me know, and I'll recognize you next time. We have my family. Gerald and Don Walker are here, parents of fallen Green Beret Staff Sergeant Micah Walker. My sister Hannah and her husband Aaron are here somewhere. Cool. Micah's wife, Corey, is here with their three kids, Karis, Ari, and Benaiah Walker. Lastly, my wife, Katie. These past 3 months have been extremely tough. Thanks, babe. Without your support, I wouldn't be able to stand up here. And lastly, hey, Karis, how are you? The reason we're all here, Mrs. Terry Chapman, mother of Medal of Honor recipient Master Sergeant John A. Chapman. Welcome. All right, now I'm going to tell you a story. And as Mike said, I'm going to deviate from the 10% truth, which I am held to as fighter pilot standard of stories. And I'm going to tell you a story that's 100% truth. And it's probably going to blow your mind. At least 10%, that's right. This one's 100%. This is my brother. Staff Sergeant Micah Walker, and he gave his utmost serving his country, and he passed away July 27th of this year at Combat Dive School. Before he passed, he told me a story of a guy named Rick. When he got his beret a year and a half ago, Micah seeked mentorship, wanted to find a Green Beret, another 18 Delta Team Medical Sergeant that would take him under his wing and show him the ropes. Finding a crusty old combat veteran, such as Rick, he found more than a mentor, he found a friend. And Rick likes to show combat footage from a very bad day in Afghanistan. And Micah's watching this footage from that bad day, and Micah says, "Hey, what day was this?" And Rick says, "Oh, it was August of 2017. And Micah goes, "Was it the 16th of August, 2017? And Rick goes, "Yeah, it's interesting you would know that." And Micah says, "My brother was there that day." And Rick, trying to recover, says, "Well, what's your brother's name?" He said, "Oh, Nate Walker." He said, "Nope, your brother was not there that day. I remember that day vividly. I remember everybody on the team. I remember the ground party. There was no Nate Walker there." And Micah smiles and says, "Oh, I didn't say he was on the ground." And then he asked, "Well, what unit did he fly for?" And Micah said, "The world famous, highly respected triple nickel." The truth is, I was there that day. I was the first guy that the JTAC talked to that morning, designating targets, trying to set them up for success for a big push. Not just that day, but that Thudgate flag that flew with me in the cockpit downrange for more than 2 months supported Rick in ODA 9522 in the Nangarhar province of Afghanistan. Become his mentor was somebody that I supported for over 2 months in Afghanistan, a man that I had never even met until after Micah's passing. That's too good to make up. In my opinion, I believe that's divinely appointed. For his actions that day on August 16th, 2017, Rick showed great heroism, treating over 40 wounded soldiers on the ground, and for valor was awarded the Silver Star. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor and privilege to introduce to you the 2020 John Chapman Service Before Self Award recipient, my brother's mentor, my friend, and my brother in arms, Sergeant First Class Rick Caldwell.
So here's the other twist. Our other recipient for 2021, Colonel Thad Allen, Caldwell's a glutton for punishment. He was a PJ first and served with this guy right here in that red beret in England. And oh, by the way, serving with them was the Thudgate recipient of the John A. Chapman Service Before Self Award, Major Barry Crawford, graduate of the United States Air Force Academy, Stowe, and a guy by the name of Robert Jeezy Gutierrez, also a recipient of the Thudgate Award. I don't know what the colonel does to lead guys, but that's a hell of a thing if you think about it, that he has produced and worked with such incredible warriors. So now the roll call. If you've never experienced this, for those military members who understand what the roll call is, you know what to do. For those of you who are civilians, I ask that you please remove your caps and stand by. Sergeant, call the roll call.
Ladies and gentlemen, like Mike was saying, the roll call is a tradition that has been with the Air Force all the way back to World War I in fighter pilot ready rooms, where rolls would be called at the onset and conclusion of every mission. At the end of every mission, any man that was not safely back in garrison had his name called. To continue that tradition, we'll do the same thing today. When your name is called, please sound off in the affirmative.
Allen! Here! Heine! Here! Allen! Here! Slowjakowski! Here! General Clark! Here! Bandit! Here! Chapman! John Chapman! Master Sergeant John A. Chapman!
Sir, Master Sergeant Chapman was killed in action 4 March 2002 at Roberts Ridge, Afghanistan.
Let the roll show! Master Sergeant Chapman perished while serving his country on Roberts Ridge, March 4th, 2002, when his helicopter was struck. Fellow service member Neil Roberts fell from the helicopter. At that point, his MH-47 departed the area. Master Sergeant Chapman and his team volunteered to return to the area. On returning to the area, a second MH-47 was stricken by RPG fire and heavy machine gun fire. At that time, John Chapman, with total disregard for his own safety, exited the ramp of the MH-47, charged uphill in 3 feet of snow, while his teammates sought cover further downhill. John Chapman remained alone, fighting multiple enemy positions until he eventually fell after taking multiple enemy combatants with him. Let the roll show that John Chapman not only served his country well, he served his country among the best men there ever were. Mrs. Chapman, we thank you for your sacrifice, and we honor your sacrifice. Now, if you have a glass, raise it to our fallen. To Michael Walker and John Chapman. Here, here. Here, here.
Rick, if you'll come, I'd like to have these awards presented. General, if you'll come up with Mrs. Chapman. Mrs. Clark, would you please join the General? Right here. Statues from Michael Gorman. And I know this means a lot to Mrs. Chapman. It's an incredible honor to have her here. Ma'am, we love you. Rick, as Rick receives this, General, I don't know if you know, but Rick is a Silver Star recipient. And he is a humble guy. What a blessing to have him here with Mrs. Chapman today. And brother, I love you. General, I know you're busy. I know you got to get going. If you'd like to say a few words, that's great. If you don't, if you got to bug out, we understand. Up to you.
I'll just say it's an honor for us to have people of this magnitude, heroes of our nation, here at our academy, because they are the example that we want every one of our cadets, and not just our cadets, every person in our armed forces to follow that model. That's why it's an honor to have them here. We're trying to build leaders of character, and there is no better example of character than standing before us today. And ma'am, your son is at the top of that list. So thank you for being here and honoring us today. Thank you.
We absolutely love having both the general and his beautiful bride here. What an honor to have them with us. All right, let's get down to, I almost said something bad. Brass tacks. Let me tell you something. The guys that are going to run out on that field here shortly with bolts on their helmets are part of a warrior culture. Don't let anybody think or say to you that they're not. It's always great to, we kind of kid each other and it's chair force and all that. Let me tell you something. That statue of Robin Olds over there says otherwise. The dead that are buried in that cemetery says otherwise. The warriors that are standing here in front of you who wear the Air Force blue say otherwise. And I'll tell you something. There was a guy named Big George Simlin who loved this institution and loved these cadets. And you know what he would say? And I'll tell you, I want to hear it really loud. I'm going to say go Air Force, and you're going to say beat the Aztecs. So when I tell you, 1, 2, 3, go Air Force!